All right, welcome back, everybody, to another Bloomburrow Draft. We got a bit of an interesting pack here. We've got a rare, pretty good one, Valley Rockcaller, 2-mana, 1/3 Menace. So when it attacks, drain your opponent for some amount. I don't actually think it's better than Thoughtstalker Warlock. I think this card is actually a little bit better than the Rockcaller, although they're both very good cards. Can't really go wrong. I wouldn't blame anybody if they want to take the rare there, but the information you get from casting this card is a really, really big deal. Taking your opponent's best things is really just backbreaking a lot of the time. So let's move on to this pack. We've got a Vinery Mentor, we've got a Saver, we've got a Carrot Cake. Those are kind of the three cards in contention here. And it's a classic question of flexibility versus power, really, right? Do you want to take the Vinery Mentor, or do you want to take the Saver? I do think that Vinery Mentor is enough better than Saver here. It's also close because Thoughtstalker Warlock is at its best in black-red, right? So we're giving up kind of the best home for this card, although it's going to be good pretty much anywhere. It doesn't really matter that much. So I'm going to take a bit of a leap of faith, I think, take the Vinery Mentor, and we'll see where we go from there. I feel like all my draft videos have a downwind ambusher somewhere in the first 3-4 picks or something, and this one's no different. We're going to take that here. Ravine Raider would be a card I'm looking for to pair with the Thoughtstalker, definitely. But you really can't turn down this card. Tree Guard Duo, a card that it's about the point where I'm fine taking this card, honestly. Third pick, not a bad place to take it. I wouldn't really want to take Ravine Raider this early if I could help it. But like, I'll just say this ambusher wasn't in the pack though. Do I take it here? Probably not after taking a green card. I think I would still just take the duo. But yeah, still happy with this ambusher. It's going to be good in basically any black deck we draft. So let's keep on going on. All right, so now we got some options. We got an Overprotect, which I think is the best card in this pack. I really, really love Overprotect. There's a Glide Dive Duo here. There's a Quake Tusk Boar. But I think I'm just going to take Overprotect. I like Glide Dive Duo a lot. I think this card is quite good. But I like Overprotect better, and this is actually a card that comes around pretty late. Like, it goes later than it should. So it's just a card I've kind of earmarked as I don't need to take it as high as I would if I was drafting at a table with 7 Alexes, basically. All right, now we're going to take a Hazel's Nocturne. Rest of the pack kind of mopey. And we're going to sort by color now. See how deep into black we can get. All right, and this pack's got a Scale of Shales. Also got an Intrepid Rabbit. And I think this is good enough to take over Scale of Shales. Like, Scale of Shales isn't just a red, black, gold card in my mind. It's pretty much just good anywhere. Obviously, it gets better when you have Lizards, but is a card I would be happy to take here to add to this, like, green-black deck if that's what we end up in. But I do think Intrepid Rabbit's definitely enough better that I should just take the Intrepid Rabbit here. All right, now we see a Head of the Homestead, which I think is just the clear pick here. Some blue cards. Really, the only blue card I like here is Calamitous Tide. I've played Thoughtstalker once in a while just to fill out the 2-drop slot. And Gossip's Talent, not one I've found a very good home for, so not too tempted by that one. Roughshod Duo, a fine red card too, but yeah, we're just going to take Head of the Homestead. Okay, it's a really late Coyote, so we saw a pretty late Rabbit, a pretty late Coyote, so could point us towards white-black being open, or sorry, just white in particular. And again, we'll kind of sort like this Head of the Homestead, probably going to make our deck almost no matter what. Just being a really flexible card. But yeah, happy to take this here. Okay, so not a ton here. I've played a Barkform Harvester from time to time in my decks with, like, 3-4 cash grabs to stop yourself from decking. I don't think I'm going to take it here. I think I'm going to take this Agate Blade Assassin. We're a little low on cheap cards. It's always a fine cheap card to play, like, if you need to play it. Also helps enable the Warlock, if that's something we're, again, going to be a little bit late on doing. Okay, now I take a Feather of Flight. I think this card is just generally pretty good. Happy to see that wheel, and the Raider wheel too. Okay, so I think if I'm to guess where we end up... Ooh, okay, interesting. I'll just take the Uncommon here over the Druid. Sometimes Bandit's Talent makes the cut if you have, like, a small discard package. I think we're probably going to end up in black-white, just by having a lot of black cards and white being what looked to be the most open color in that last pack. And with that in mind, happy to just take a Carrot Cake here over a Star Charter. I think Carrot Cake's just, generically best card in this pack. Is that true? No, probably not. Kidnap is definitely a better card, but I do think Carrot Cake is, like, a close second here. And I would actually probably take the Kidnap if I thought blue was open-ish, but blue was not open at all pack 1. So yeah, just gonna assume for the time being that we are black-white until something comes along or just our colors get completely cut. So I'm gonna move these green cards to the board. And of course, looking back at that early pick, would have been happier with the Saver at this point. Our deck is looking more aggressive than not, definitely, with the Raider, and, the Menace Creatures, and these 2 Rabbits, the Feather of Flight, so maybe, like, some sort of, like, black-white beatdown deck. Black-white is, tends to be a little more aggressive than not anyways. It's not like it's too out of the ordinary for what my black-white decks tend to look like. Okay, and then here we have the choice between a second Hazel's Nocturne, which I don't think I'm going to take, even though Like, if this was pick one, pack one, let's say, it's probably better than Ravine Raider. I do think I'm just going to take the Raider. Like, Raider plays well with the Rabbits, plays well with the Ambusher, plays well with the Warlock, like I mentioned before. And also, if I can help it, taking a black card over a white card, not that there's a white card in this pack, it's something I'm still looking to do. Like, I think there is a world where green opens back up in pack 3. I always want to leave myself open to that. So if I can take a black card at this point of the draft, I'm pretty happy to do so. Oh, this is an interesting one. Whisker Veil Forerunner. So this, once you meet a target, of course, and I don't have too much to target it. I've got the 2 Intrepid Rabbits. I've got the Feather of Flight, but definitely good enough for me to take it here. Especially because the rest of the pack is not very interesting. And this is a good sign, right? We saw white cards at the end of pack 1. We're getting past a pretty good rare in the middle of pack 2. So yeah, I think now I'm like, all right, we are black-white, and there's nothing really that's going to push us off of it. Gonna take a Saver here over like a Life Creed Duo. Let me just do a little removal check here. Just Saver and the Ambusher, if you want to count that. So a little bit low in removal, a little bit low in interaction. Gonna want to prioritize that as we go forward. Take another Assassin over a Witness. Our 4-drop slot is, full enough. Don't really need another 4. Oh, okay. Now I'm happy to take Scales of Shale. Like, now we've got, what, 5 lizards? Yeah, 5 lizards. And Scales of Shale is going to be quite good here. Okay, cool. Better than Rabble Response, I think. Like, our plan is not super go wide. We got a few token makers. But I think that Scales of Shale is just a better card in general. Unless you're just going super, super wide. Like, if we had, let's say, I don't know, 6 token makers, I would probably take the Rabble Response. But I think with this number of lizards, and like I said, Scales of Shale just being a generally better card, I like taking it there. I'm going to take the Duo here over the Stargaze. Again, we are just a little more of an aggressive deck. We're not really looking to make the game go really long and draw a bunch of cards. Not to say that Duo is like an amazing aggressive card or anything, but I think it fits our deck a little bit better. Okay, so now we can take an Early Winter, or we can take an Uncharted Haven. That's sort of an interesting pick, because I would like the fixing. Just, any fixing to make your limited mana base a little bit better is good. But we are, I think, light enough on removal at this point that I want to make sure I've got, my 3 or 4 good removal spells. And not to say the Early Winter is a good removal spell, but it's one that I will play if we don't pick up any more as the draft goes on. All right, well, another one here. So, yeah, would not be happy to play a second one, I'll say. But, okay, that was a Fountain Port Bell. That's probably going to be the pick over Thistledown players. We've got, like, one card that cares about Thistledown players in the Forerunner. And I just passed on the land, so picking up a bit of fixing is nice. Sorry, I said we didn't have that many token makers. We got 4. Just, I'm sure somebody counted. Somebody saw, hey, wait a second. There's 4 token makers, not 3. It's true. We do have 4 token makers. So I wouldn't hate a Rapid Response in this deck. But not something I'm going to super prioritize still. All right. Now we see a Banishing Light. And I'm going to take Banishing Light over Glide Dive Duo, over Swordmaster without a ton of mice. Just locks in that removal spell slot I was talking about. I think one more is where I would really be happy. One more pretty good removal spell. And, between black and white, both being pretty removal heavy colors, I'm pretty sure we're going to see that as the draft goes on. I'm not too worried. We also have the Drift Gloom Coyote as interaction, which definitely counts. Okay, so here is an interesting pick. We've got Glide Dive Duo, which, like I mentioned, is just a card I like. It's also another lizard for my Scales of Shale. And then there's the Rabbit Response. I was doing a token count for cards that play well with Rabbit Response, but Raider, and just like any Menace, also plays pretty well with Rabbit Response. So I think I do take that here over the Duo. And especially because, it's not unlikely we pick up a little more. Maybe another Rabbit if we're lucky, maybe another Carrot Cake. So I think this Rabbit Response is actually pretty decent here. All right, so now Repel Calamities here, so we can take that. And then what else is here? Okay, so now we're just going to take Repel Calamity. That's, my last final removal spell I'm pretty happy to take. Rapid Response. There's a Moonbind Order, and that card's, solid one, but we've got enough 2s, or at least enough cheap cards that I'm not too worried about that. So, I'm just going to take the Repel Calamity. Oh, Super Late Dragonhawk here. Going to take the Sonar Strike, though. Yeah, this is like an example of just the weird things that can kind of happen in drafts where we didn't see any red cards, really. Packs 1 and Pack 2. But that means a lot of other people also didn't see a lot of red cards around us. So probably what happened, I would assume, is like, everybody was like, okay, well, there's just not a lot of red cards. I'm going to move out of red. And this is a nice pickup for us, by the way. It's like one of these. Yeah, not a lot of red cards. Going to move out of red. And then, all right, nobody's in it. And we get a 4th pick bomb pass to us. Which, by the way, worth noting, just going back, that's the kind of pick where the kind of spot where it's good to look back in your 17 lands if you have 17 lands or your draft logs and just be like, was there a red signal or was there a bunch of red that I was just ignoring? Sometimes, there actually will be, but most of the time, I think, don't beat yourself up too much about like, oh man, I could have been a red. Because yeah, weird things happen in drafts. Things aren't just going to be perfect all the time. Another ambusher too. So we're getting a lot of premium cards in this pack. Nocturnal Hunger here too, but definitely happier with the second ambusher, especially with all this menace. And yeah, nice little cleric here. We don't have a ton of life gain. We've got what? The Saver, the Sonar Strike, the Carrot Cake. But no matter what, this card's generally pretty good in our deck. Just a 2/1 flyer. It's going to be pretty good. And then a Consume by Greed over a Glide Dive Duo. So yeah, this definitely filled in our removal slot pretty nicely. I think we ended up in the 2 most open colors at our seed. We just got a bunch of great things in pack 3. And, I was just talking about looking back in your drafts and figuring out, where you should have been or where you could have been. And often the, the real test is just saying, like, are you getting past good cards in pack 3? Because I always just see that as, like, the payoff pack, right? What you're setting yourself up for in pack 1 and pack 2. All right, Glide Eye Duo comes back, so we might play that. Now we're just, like, loaded on playables, so, gonna have to make some pretty tough cuts, I would say. All of our cards are pretty good. Okay, so Bell's going to count as a land, of course. And, let's just do the whole take them all out, put them back in. I think we've got enough extra playables that I should just build from the ground up here. So when I do this, I just go, taking the cards and putting the ones in that I know for sure I want to play. The ones that there's just no chance that I cut. This Forerunner... Interesting. We don't actually have... We didn't pick up that many things to trigger it as the draft went on. Can this trigger it? No. Opponents only. Pick up a combat trick. Pick up that Feather of Flight before. I think there's a real possibility that we don't play this card. Like, I think we are more likely to than not, but it's not just going to be an auto-include here. I'm going to put in my good 2s. Going to put in these 2 Raiders. Going to put in the 2 Skunks. Consume by Greed is one of our better removal spells. Okay, so from that we see we want some 2s, which is not a surprise by any means. We generally want as many 2s as we can get. So we're going to play these Assassins, play the Life Creed duos. That puts us at 12 creatures. Going to play the Coyote too. Doing a quick removal count here too, because I was talking about making sure we pick up enough removal as the draft went on, but pack 3 gave us more than enough. So I could see just not playing all of our removal spells. I'm going to play this Scales of Shale too for sure. Maybe for generally like 5, so... We'll just play these 5 and the Sonar Strike. We're not really a bat-heavy deck, and we're attacking on the ground a lot. So Sonar Strike's going to get quite a bit worse. All right, so that leaves us at 13 creatures. So I want to up our creature count here. I can play this Duo. I can play this Orator. And, take a look at this Forerunner again. Let's do an actual count. So we've got... Yeah, really not a lot. Like, we're going to end up with, like, 2 or 3 ways to trigger it. So I'm not going to end up playing this Forerunner, which is totally fine. I also kind of want to get this Hazel's Nocturne here, because we've got quite a few good enter the battlefield effects. Oh, and I guess I can do that just by cutting a land, like I was planning to do anyways, because of this Phantom Port Bell. So, yeah, let's do that. All right, yeah, this deck looks pretty good. Just high quality, decent amount of synergy, and we'll see how the games go. Okay, we got a really nice opening hand, yeah. Whew, look at this curve. Raider into probably Assassin instead of Carrot Cake here. Just pushes a little more immediate damage. And I think with this hand / deck, that is what we're looking to do. All right, they take out the trash. Yeah, happy that that's the red-white deck's turn 2. Play Carrot Cake. Find a plane. Do not need that. Put it on the bottom. Play a Whisker Quill Scribe. All right, so yeah, we're going to just get in here. They could have Crumb and get it. And we'll know from the stops, of course. And looks like they do not. So, but I guess also just not huge deal if they did have that card. They would get to eat my 2/2. Yep, that's fine. Play Carrot Cake. All right, yep. Opponent also has a good card. All right, then nothing. I think we're just good to get in. So, yeah, let's do that. Bash. Yep, they sack. If they go for the Intrepid Rabbit block, I don't think I care. I think I just let it happen. Pump the Raider. Yeah, totally fine. All this blocking out of a red-white deck is interesting to me. Like, maybe they have kind of an atypical red-white deck. They're like, removal spell on one, block, block, block. Maybe they have, like, a great, really good expensive rare. Could see that happening, too. All right, Head of the Homestead. That makes a little more sense, too, because that means they, had a good 5 to stabilize with. Order. I don't think we really want Order, so we can bottom that. Just have more impactful cards in the deck. All right, find a land. Let's just get in with... Could get in with all of them and savor the Head of the Homestead. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like keeping the board small here with this Raider. Wouldn't have done that most likely if we didn't have one more removal spell, but this is totally fine. Okay, Swordmaster, sure. Banishing Light. All right, let's just get in. Yeah, we'll just pump, pump, pump. We're still at a very high life total. 4, yep. Yeah, I think if I had a land that turn, I would probably have consumed just to get back my Intrepid Rabbit. All right, now they are going wide again. Probably thinking about a carrot cake, or sorry, a rabbit response at this point from them. Ooh, nice. Okay, so let's get in. Let's see if they do any blocking. Okay, yeah, triple block. So, pump. Pump. Gonna go for this. If they have something, so be it. If not, it's great. Yeah, all right. Looks like no. Looks like they're just accepting it. Okay, gain 5. Go to 28. Good place to be. Intrepid Rabbit. All right. They have a lot of tokens. But been fighting for them pretty well. Match for 3. Fountain Port Bell. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna assume they just trade here. If I let them. Do I want to let them? I don't think so at this point. Let's just go Bell, crack Bell, see what we find. Decline, crack the Bell. Okay, final land. And yeah, I'll just pass. Keep this Raider up on blocks. Ooh, okay, Dragonhawk. So we will definitely be killing this thing. The final land. And they get in. Okay, so I think this is a good moment for us to give him the card, get back the rabbits. Gonna have a pretty good turn here. And I think I cracked this food. I don't have any foraging things, right? No. Okay, so it's pretty free to crack the food now. Cleric's a good one too. Yeah, let's instead... Well, I can actually get in with the Raider first. Get in for a point. Because they can't really block. 2 points, in fact. Who's got 7 mana? Play the Cleric. All right. All right, that's it. Yeah, okay. Kind of a strange game. Like I said, just a bunch of trading from their side, and we saved a removal spell to kill something important, so it worked out. All right, a pretty good hand here. Yeah, here's where the Fountain Port Bell does kind of hurt us a little bit, because it'd be nice to play this on turn 1. Never mind, though, because we just drew the planes naturally, so not going to matter too much at all. They have a Lupin Flower Village over there. They play an Assassin. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's get in. And play our Bell. No land on top. Play Jolly Gerbils. Okay. Nice. And nothing, eh? All right, all right. Interesting. Well, that means we're not getting in this turn. And unfortunately, we didn't draw anything that we really want to play. I think I'm just going to play the Warlock straight up, though. Like, this thing's not going to come down with the Thoughtseize mode until, you know, turn 5, turn 6. So, by that time, they're probably not going to have that many cards in hand anyways. Might as well just cast this. Use our mana. Okay, that's good to know. They played Harbinger instead of... sorry, they played Gerbils instead of Harbinger. So, almost certainly, I think this means they have Crumb and Get It. You know, part of the reason they'd have Jolly Gerbil in their deck is because they have Crumb and Get It. So, I think we just pass, honestly. I think we just don't let them use their mana efficiently. You know, the logic there being, of course, they would probably play their 3-drop instead of a 2-drop and leave up 1 mana. If that wasn't the case. Ooh, and they're just cracking their village. Okay. Trying to trap a rabbit. Sure. Yep, they play the rabbits. Maybe. Who knows? They could have... Yeah, okay, they do. Say they could have something cheap, plus holding up Crumb and Get It. I think I'm pretty happy to trade, too. I don't really mind trading off one of these cards. Yeah, if they want to get in. Yep. Block. Like, when we know they have Crumb and Get It in hand, any chance to make a positive combat exchange seems good to me. Okay, now we're just going to play the duo. Pass the turn. All right, they just came with the gerbil, yeah, or the rabbit. It's fine. I think they were thinking, do I want to attack all and have to use my Crumb and Get It potentially, or do I want to cast this card? And it looks like they wanted to cast Azoraline. Okay, so in that case, let's just rabbit. We got a pretty good attack here, so we get to go duo this thing. We could trade no matter what for something pretty good. Obviously, this Azoraline is a problem, but... Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm happy to trade off the Jolly Gerbils here. Play the Raider. Yeah, this card's a problem, but if we know they have a pump spell in hand, no point in trying to block. Although, it does have Vigilance, so we're going to have to just find a removal spell for it sometime. All right, they're bringing back their bats. Yeah. And negotiation. Hits land. Fine. Another assassin. Okay, let's get in with the Raider and the Rabbit. Now we're going to hold back the duo after drawing nothing that really helps us keep attacking. If they want to block Rabbit and 1/1, totally fine. Yep. Means we can't play the Assassin this turn. Oh, sorry, no, we can't still play the Assassin this turn. What am I saying? And gonna keep this land in hand, of course. All right. Yeah, I need to draw some action at this point. They've got a bunch of action. They have been missing land drops. So they've got a bunch of spells. We have a bunch of not that much. We're going to attack for 2 here. We draw... Ooh, Consumed by Greed. That was a pretty good one. Okay, so let's get in with these two. And hopefully what happens here is they try to block. And then we... well, they kind of have a Sonar Strike. That's might be what's happening here. I was going to say, we attack and they go for the Crumb and Get It. That we think they have. They Consume by Greed us. Okay. So, what do we have in the grave? Just the Thoughtstalker Warlock, which we can get back this turn. Yeah. Okay, so we sack the Rabbit. And for 3. And yeah, I do think I gift them the card here, because I do think we want to kill the Zoraline, get back the Stalker. Of course, also very good, just because now if we do something great, we get to take it. Although, a land is something they're probably looking for. Oh, wow. So, uncastable Vren, thankfully. Uncastable Calamity. We're going to take this season of the Burrow, for sure. That's no question. And yeah, we play the Swamp. Sorry, I was saying holding the land for some reason against this Ruthless Negotiation. That doesn't make any sense. It's not like they get a bonus if I don't discard a card or something. All right, that was also a pretty good draw. So let's go Cleric. And I think I just get in with the Assassin now because we got a bunch of Menace. Or sorry, a Menace creature, and the Assassin basically attacks for 4. So even if they block it, not a huge deal. All right, yeah, we're in a good spot now. See if they can draw anything. They drew the land finally. Yeah, it would have been a very different game if they could have cast this card. Ooh, okay, that was a good draw. They get a 4, but not going to be enough, right? Because 1, 2, 3, and Menace. So that is the game. All right, we even have a saver. Can kill them before blocks happen if we wanted to. Yeah, that was, we got a little bit lucky that game. I think the opponent just not hitting their lands. All right, yeah, like this hand. We've got turn 3 Warlock with 2 cards to help us get in. Ambusher on a 1/3 is always kind of nice. Green red. All right, what are we playing here? Probably the probably the Assassin. Yeah, because then again, like if we can attack into something here, Warlock. Then we have the 1/3 for a potential blowout, or not a blowout, but when they block with a big thing on turn 4, we can Ambusher. All right, no attacks. Or sorry, no anythings. They can't attack because they don't have creatures, so definitely no attacks. Let's see what's going on over there. They kept a very slow hand, so I'm imagining they've got a lot of great stuff. All right, Seasonal Loss. We get to nab that. Wow, their deck is colorful. Yeah, all right. Gonna grab the Seasonal Loss. Definitely do not want them to cast that. They don't have the double black just yet, but I don't want that to be any part of this game. So hopefully they just cast the 4/4 here. Keep Harvest, okay. That's also okay. Don't mind that at all. We get to jam for 5 points. Sorry, 6 with the Assassin Drain. Okay, and then... Oh, yeah, they didn't have a double green. Did you notice that? Not that this is double green, but... Oh, yes, they did. They had it in hand. So I think, triple green? I guess they're just, like, very heavy green, splashing a bunch of things. And this would be their only black card. So they're, like, green-red base, potentially. Wonder if this opponent is Italian, because the tap... I don't know if you've ever seen an Italian card, but on an Italian Magic card, instead of tap, this is how it's displayed. Caps, S-T-A-P. Not exactly sure what that means, to be honest. Maybe somebody, an Italian native, can tell me in the comments. All right, so we're just going to play this Cleric here, and I think, again, it's just an attack with everything kind of turn. Like, this is dealing them a lot of damage, even if they get pretty good blocks. If they get to go here and here, but then this gets in for 2 attacks, like this turn and the next turn. And then they've got these to deal with. So I think I'm totally fine if they want to just eat some stuff here. Yeah, they have to block the Assassin, too. All right, and then they are just dead to Cleric plus Carrot Cake. Although, they can sack here to gain 3 life, but have other creatures, of course, to attack. Interesting that they chose to upkeep that search. I guess they wanted to thin their deck, but I imagine any line that has them survive also includes casting this Assault. And now they can't do multiple things. I guess they gotta have a Saver. Or like a Longstock Brawl or something. No, there's a Saber. Okay. So, yeah, they might have already had that. And they just want to thin their deck a little bit more. So, now they're going to kill the Warlock. I would imagine. Could kill the Flyer. I could see that being the case, too. But I think the Warlock makes a little more sense. Yep. Oh, okay. Sure, that's fine. And draw Raider. Also another good draw. We'll just keep getting in. Very good draw, because now we can go Ambusher. Yep, -1. Also play the Raider. Menace. All right, another Rampager. All right, they're holding on. Yeah, they're holding on. So let's go play land, get in there. I think they kind of have to block this Ambusher here. All right, this is okay too. So we can only kill the 1/1 because we only have one black source, but that's okay. Okay, they're just doing that. Yeah, so we get the pump. Play Carrot Cake. And bomb that. And do I want to play the Orator or play Carrot Cake? Probably just play the Orator. Or crack Carrot Cake. Probably just play the Orator. It's a 2-power creature, meaning any combo of 2 powers or a 2-power and 2 1s kill them. All right, cool. Well, yeah, funny deck. Well, I would be curious what the rest of that deck has, because it was very colorful, and we only saw one of their busted cards, and I'm sure they're splashing for many. All right, yeah, another hand with the Bell and a 1-drop, but not a hand that but gonna hurt us that much in. I guess if we don't draw the land by turn 3, we'll have to choose between playing a 2-drop and playing the Bell. Okay, opponent mulligans. We'll play our Raider. Ooh, Scales of Shale, not a bad one too. And yeah, let's play the 2-power creature. Gets in a little more damage. Blue-black and a 3-tree mascot. All right. So we hit the land, so the Bell thankfully not punishing us. Let's just get in. If they block with their mascot, I'm totally fine with that. No, that's the case. Play a Bell. And I think I do, So it's kind of interesting because most of our deck is pretty cheap, and I don't necessarily like want to draw land that badly. Like, I don't need to slam this Coyote ASAP. I do have this Orator though, and a Mana Sink with the Raider, so I think I do put land on top, especially because, you know, I want double black as something too. Esper, interesting. Okay. Ooh, okay, it's a pretty strong one. Not that strong on the splash. They just, you know, they have to have a lot of white cards for it to be really good. Also something we can nab, thankfully, with this Coyote. And since that's the case, I guess I should crack Bell first here. Let's go crack Bell. And, okay, just draw land, so we'll just pump the Raider once. Not that we can do it anymore, but if it's just redrop, obviously we don't pump it at all. I love the little mouse guy in this art. He's on the page. I think it's the traditional draft page. He's zoomed in. Just having the time of his life. Shout out to that guy. All right, Ren. All right, that's a pretty good one. Okay, so yeah, gonna have to plan around that one a little bit. Thankfully, we can just keep getting in though. Play a Glide Dive duo. Definitely sort of tempting to keep the Scale of Shales, just so they don't get some rats, but our clock is not nearly fast enough to be able to do that. And just, you know, we have a pretty good clock in general here. Down Ambusher, kill the Raider. All right, that's pretty strong. Yeah, because now they got a rat. But still, our clock's not too bad, right? 3-turn clock. Maybe a bit quicker with this Scale of Shales. Scales of Shale. Can never get that card's name right. All right, get in. Also drawing Warlock is really good too. So let's jam. Play this thing. Let's see what's up. Banishing Light, great. All right, so pretty close to lethal now. They kill us into, which is interesting, and they're also growing their rats. But we have this Coyote. Hopefully draw land next turn, can keep up both. Or play the Coyote, keep up this thing. Alright, they attack. Attack everything. Interesting. Well, it makes sense because they don't know they're dead to this Scales. But we do have lethal this turn. If they don't have an interaction spell or anything. So let's see what they do. Yeah, just play a duo. No mill. And an Overseer. Okay, so now we don't need to draw the land, but it would be nice to win on the spot. Okay, we won on the spot. Great. Ta-da! Alright, yeah. Okay, he grabs this thing. Gain life. Pump this. And nice. Nice clean game. Been beating some pretty good bombs, too. So, our curve outs have been strong enough to not succumb to those, thankfully. Nice. Alright. Good hand once again. Needs a land, but that's okay. I got lots of those in the deck. Another Raider. Another Raider's probably worse than a land here, unfortunately. Forest, Baker's Bane duo. Okay. Okay, there's the land, though. Nice. Whoops. Okay, with the Raider. Play the Orator. Would have, of course, preferred a black source. We can double spell a little bit with all these black cards, but not a huge deal. Don't think I'm going to be casting Raider plus another spell anytime soon. Thistle down players. All right. So they're holding back here, not wanting me to get in with this Raider. And so yeah, I think I'm just gonna do the same thing as I did a few games ago. Just play out this Warlock. I'm just gonna be curving out here, playing Ambusher next turn, anyways. Hard choice from them. They are tanking here a little bit. Lots of good cards in hand. Or maybe they've got like a 4-drop and one more land. They're trying to figure out. They can afford to pitch it and hopefully draw another one. They draw pitch a 4-drop. Rampager. Alright. Play Tree Guard Duo. Yep, it's a pretty good one. It's bash me for quite a bit of damage. Although they can't attack with both of these. I mean, they can, but I get a pretty nice double block. Alright, yeah, for 6. Totally fine. Okay. So now what do? We can attack with the Warlock, and they can double block somewhere. Same with the Raider, and they double block somewhere. We finish their creature off with Ambusher, and seems pretty good. Should I attack with the Orator too? No, because then they get to eat something. So just the menace creatures get in. Either killing the 3/3 or the 3/4 is pretty good here. Yeah, they just take it. Yep, that's totally fine. Let's pass. Carrot cake, that's a good one. Makes my menace creatures less effective. I think if they attack with this duo, what I'm going to do is ambush it and kill a 1/1. Although if they attack with the Baker's Bane duo, I might just eat that. We'll see. All right, they attack with these two. Yeah, I think they have the skunk on their mind. They've definitely been playing in a way that makes me think they've been thinking about the skunk. Yep, totally fine. So, yeah, let's just do this. And kill the 1/1. And kill the 3/4. I could also kill the 3/3, because this is like a 3/3 Vigilance, which has kind of been annoying here. Yeah, like 3/3 is not that much different than 3/4, honestly, on this board. So I think it's actually probably a little bit better to kill this 3/3. Okay, cool. And Epic. Oh, wow. Heirloom Epic. That is not a card you see very often. Okay. Well, let's Coyote nab this thing, get in with everything. It's gonna be very pricey for them, with not a ton of creatures in the battlefield. Crack some food, or crack. Oh, interesting. They didn't crack the carrot cake. They cracked the regular food. Wonder what that's about. Sticky Tongue Sentinel, pick up carrot cake. Well, that's what that's about, I guess, because they scried that on top. That's right. All right, yeah. All right, so it's getting easier for them to tap this, sort of, right? They still can't really tap because it's sorcery speed. That was a very good draw, by the way. So we get in with everything and what happens. I think some pretty good stuff no matter what. If the order dies and the other things get in, that's fine. So play the land, just bash. Yep, block there, totally fine. Block there, totally fine. So, yeah, block like that, kill the 1/1. And honestly, I think I just keep my order alive. Yeah, and then just play the other raider, and then we just have so much menace. That seems pretty good. Well, so much as in still just 2 things, like we did this turn. But yeah, I think that's still a pretty good turn for us. They're going to 11, and game's not over yet. If they can kill the Coyote, it's a little bit annoying. Cash grab, land, duo, head. Okay, so they can't cast anything this turn, but they grab the head. All right, land. Yeah, probably the worst draw on the deck, of course, because that can't help me activate this raider. Go to 11. Yep, makes sense. Kill the 1/1. They go to 3. They're pretty stable now, though. I do need to draw a flyer, something to help me attack. Order getting back. Skunk would be fine, but not amazing. Save or how good is that? Pretty good. Like we get it with the Coyote. If they try to block a lot with it, yeah, we're just gonna slam here. I think no matter what, this is a pretty good attack. Yeah, they're kind of priced into blocking this way, and then I get the saver, and then we get to kill all their stuff, and good things happen for us. They go to 1. Yeah, epic heirloom. Like, this is a deck that looks like it's pretty good for, right? Just like a lot of tokens, but you can see just how it can be awkward. We're not even the most aggressive of decks, but I think it just looks pretty awkward, and it's just hard to really make this card anything more than draw a card off of it sometimes. I've seen this card in sealed be okay. Still not great, but okay. Carrot Cake, good draw for them, though. Gives them some leeway here. They go to 4. They still have to chump the Coyote. If this thing could activate instant speed, then we'd be talking. But sorcery speed, they can't block with their tokens it's a pretty big deal. All right. So now they're dead to a lot of stuff. Dead to my Hazel Nocturne. Dead to Glide Dive Duo. Dead to Flight of Feather. All right, the cash grab. Land. Duo. Baker's Bane Duo. Rampager. Probably have to take the Baker's Bane Duo just to stay alive if this is a land. All right, and they're dead. Cool. Yeah, so a few pretty fortunate turns for us where we drew kind of exactly what we needed. Or, one of many outs probably for having a good turn on a few turns there. But, okay, yeah. Nice hand. No 1-drop this time, but it's okay. Also, we've been on the draw quite a bit. But still winning. You can win too. Don't worry about being put on the draw. It's not a big deal. All right, play Cleric. Mind Whisker. All right. That's pretty good. Bash me for 4. So what do we do about that? No land guaranteed for turn 4 with a bunch of expensive things in hand. I think we have to probably savor something here, and it's probably just going to be the Mind Whisker. So that thing doesn't surveil them into more stuff. If we can draw the land, we're in great shape, because we could just ambush this Marstalker. Oh, well, speaking of which. Okay, let's see if we can match them here. Yeah, they put me to 13, and Carrot Cake. All right, that's good enough. That's going to hold back the Marstalker for a turn, most likely. Yep, we'll take the lands, pass the turn. Ooh, they use a saver here. That's really good for me. Nice. And another Marstalker. Okay, yeah, wow. I was kind of celebrating a second ago that they chose to do that, but we could still be in some trouble. Okay, so Ambusher. Especially because eventually these Marstalkers come back. And we could just be dead here if they have a removal spell, of course. Could have taken the safe line of cracking food and cracking the Carrot Cake, but they came off to a fast enough start that I don't think I was supposed to take the conservative line there. Okay, yep. This is a, keepable hand for sure. Got the bell to go get our planes. Another kind of naked Warlock, but I think that kind of speaks to the power of the card, right? Like, they're just happy with 2/2 menace that makes them discard a card. Like, that's just a good card. Obviously busted when you can Thoughtseize them, but we're gonna cycle here. Maybe we hit one of our 2 raiders. Nope, hit his Cleric. Would have been nice to be 1 card above, of course. So that Warlock could Thoughtseize them. And, depending what they do here, yeah. I think I am actually just going to go for the Cleric. Yeah, I think if they maybe played like a mountain, so they could kill us end of turn, I wouldn't have done this, but on all planes makes me want to just say sure. I will take the turn off so I can maybe Thoughtseize you. All right, what you got going on? Another slow hand, so I'm imagining we're going to see some good cards here. They kept a hand with no second color that they're revealing, and yeah, okay, so Starfall Invocation. Yeah, that's why they kept this hand. Yeah, we'll take Starfall Invocation. It looks a lot worse now. They can cast this if they draw land, but they are on nothings that they can. Okay, they drew the Blue Source, which is the best land, of course, for them to draw. And now we draw a non-land here. So this Scales of Shale costs 2. Do I want to just Banishing Light this thing? Yeah, I think so. Just Banishing Light, keep the blockers out of the way. And start getting in. I also have the option to play the Assassin and then play Scales of Shale. But I think using my removal spell when they're tapped out just looked a little bit better there. Alright, so now do draw the land. And they've got Crumb and Get It Up, so I can't Scales of Shale. So we'll just get in, play the Assassin, play the Carrot Cake. And I think we're well on our way to winning this game now. Like, they're still going to have a tough time blocking. They're still going to be restrained on mana. Yeah, keep that land. And now we've got a bunch of life gain triggers for this Cleric. We can also just start attacking all in a turn or 2. Warden, yep. All right, by the way, this Denial is on, which is a little bit annoying, of course. So what do we do here? If we attack all, they can Escort, they can Crumb and Get It, so our Ambusher can't really do that much. I think let's just pass the turn here. We'll just crack our Carrot Cake. They likely cast this Escort, maybe, or hopefully cast it. If that's the case, we will just Ambusher. Yep, sweet. Okay, that's good for us. Now we go Ambusher. Yeah, they're going to put a counter on their Warden. -1. All right. And then I think most likely next turn we're just going to start bashing in with everything. Banishing Light. Okay, let's see what this nabs. Maybe the Ambusher? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so no longer looks like a good attack anymore. Intrepid Rabbit. Okay. Yeah, let's just play this. Yeah, we'll just play it not kicking it. If they want to counter this, that's fine. Let's just resolve our duo. Yep, that's great for us. And now we actually even get to attack all here, right? Because if they block this thing, it's okay. Yeah, no matter what, they don't have great blocks with this Scales of Shale. Like, they get to eat one thing, but well worth the damage we're pushing here. And being able to use the Scales of Shale effectively when they're tapped out. You know, I was talking about the Warlock in the draft and how good it is and why it's so good. You know, maybe it's probably obvious in general. I think people know it's a good card, but this game would have been just like absolutely completely different if I didn't have this Warlock, right? Like this Sunfall Invocation they would have still had. I have knowledge of what I get to play around their entire hand, right? I'm pretty sure I would have lost this game without this Warlock, just plain and simple. And, you know, I was talking about it's just good when you cast on turn 3 and they discard a card. True, but when the opponent wasn't doing anything really, kind of felt like it was worth the Thoughtseize mode, because, again, if they just kept a hand with Plains, Village, do nothing, kind of implies that they have some really good stuff in hand. Okay, so are they just dead? Think so, right? Cast this, they go to 3. Yep, okay, cool. Is this going to be a mulligan? I think it might be. We've got no black, and a lot of black, and a double black card. And even if we draw the black source. I mean, if we draw the black source, we go Raider into Duo into Cleric, and it is pretty good, but I think it's probably a mull, especially after the opponent mulls here. We can definitely afford it. Okay, and this hand is, I think, better. Yeah, definitely. It's got worse spells for the early parts of the game with this Nocturne, but we're going to keep and I think put back a Plains. I could put back the Nocturne, actually. You know what? Nocturne's probably a little bit better. Our deck does not mind getting to 5-6 mana. Stock in the Pantry. All right, let's see what they can do with that. Whenever they put a counter on something, they put a counter on this, and then they can remove a counter, draw a card. Red-green Stock in the Pantry, too. That's interesting. Wandertail Mentor. All right, that's a strong one. So we're just going to bash. And see how this goes. Hopefully this is just a double mulligan for them. They mulligan and hopefully they don't actually put anything on this. But let's see what they nab. Ooh, that's wow. Wow. Holy. That is a combo. Tender Wild Guide plus Stock in the Pantry. Wow. Okay, so we are most certainly just going to Banishing Light this Stocking. No way we can allow them to draw all those many cards. And do we want to attack here? Guess I should have attacked first. Yeah, I think I probably should. Should probably trade off for this 1/1. That's going to keep growing and growing and growing. All right. Yeah, I might have been able to get in for a point if I didn't cast this beforehand. So that was definitely a little bit of a misstep on my part. All right, the bash. Trevor Rabbit. That was a nice draw. All right, let's bring it. They've got spells in hand, it seems. And next time we get to kill both these things, so that's kind of nice. The Guide and the Mentor. And maybe something else that they play that's big. Or I guess they have to play something big to be able to kill the Mentor. But I assume at the end of their turn, they're going to tap this to put a counter on it, so we can Repel Calamity it. Wow, okay, I get it. I get why they have Stock in the Pantry in their deck. Double Tender Wild Guide, yeah. That's, sure is something. Oh, okay. Feather of Flight. So, gonna cast that, and I think we should just try to beat down here. Not gonna be the easiest with these things, but, these things racing us back, that is. And a Cleric, too. Alright, let's get in. Yeah, and then we're going to go repel this thing. Pass the turn. Oh, sorry. I guess it was slightly better maybe to repel the Wild Guide. Maybe not. It depends what's in their hand. Like, if they have all action, all fours, it's better to kill this thing because this gains counters without them doing anything. Needing to tap it. Like it says, they have to choose to either tap it or attack / block. Well, I guess not block. They can still block and tap it, but it's gonna be an interesting game. Yeah, they killed a rabbit. Okay, well, not that much interesting now because I think there's a good chance that probably kills us. They get in for 4. And we'll see. Maybe this cleric brings us home. Like, if we can go cleric into a bunch of life gain, that could definitely do it. All right, swamp. Nothing in our grave gains life just yet. But I probably, if I draw a land, I definitely just buy back the rabbit, I'm pretty sure. Big ol' attack. Oh, not from the hero. Not from the 1/1. Just for 7. Okay. I will take it this turn. Yeah, I think we need to draw, like, Saver, Glide Dive Duo. Scales of Shale would be pretty good, too. Okay, it's a little bit of life gain, and it lets me cast my Consume, so that's actually not too bad. So, let's get in. Proving Assassin. They have 1 spell in hand. Wonder what it is. It's not a creature. Could be a combat trick. Play a land. And Consume's gonna get back Intrepid Rabbits. Probably gonna be blocking this. We take 1. Like, we're assuming this dies. They could have Overprotect, and that would definitely kill us no matter what. Although, not necessarily, because is there a way to induce them into using Overprotect, and then we consume? It would have to be not on the Heartfire hero, of course. Okay, so let's block like this, block like this. That means they don't actually have to cast it yet. So I think we just have to block like this and hope they don't have anything. Because I don't think there's a way to induce them into using Overprotect. I mean, I could block these 2 on the big things like that. And then we go to 1, but then there's, like, if they just say, they're just happy with it. They say, okay, sure. So I'm pretty sure it has to be this and hope that the last card isn't anything big. Yep, it looks like it is something, so don't like our chances. Okay. Yeah, their grass is something. What is it? Yeah, it's the Overpick. All right. GG's. That was a good game. All right, so that is going to do it for this deck. Just short of the trophy. Ended up with 6 wins. And yeah, I don't think too much to say about this deck. Like, it was just a very fundamentally sound deck. That's what I can say about it. Handful of solid cards, some good uncommons, good curve, good plan. Nothing too fancy. Good enough to beat a lot of rares. Let's put it that way. That is something that I can say this deck did. It just beat a lot of rares. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. As always, if you liked it, comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.